did I. 2 pops to the belly, 1 straight through his eye. He knows he had it coming. He knows just what he done. And gets a plate of 38, puts a bad girl on the run.
I was probably the guy. I'm probably the latest to the game. I grew up. I sang in churches, believe it or not, and plays. So, but I didn't get into actual music until the early '90s. And a lot of people would hear me singing along to a radio, and they said you should be in a band. So, got into a band.
I started in 6th grade because my neighbor was a drummer. So I went to his house and he said, "Hey, check this out." And he was playing the Beatles, and I was like, "I can do that." And so I sat down and I started playing "Love Me Do." Well, you just need to alternate your foot in your hand and tap the other one. Okay, and so I started playing "Love Me Do."
Like my dad had like Stones and Beatles records that they played on the record player. But for me, it was when I listened to like Kiss Alive, and I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. So my dad got me a Harmony acoustic, and went from there. I was in like probably 7th or 8th grade.
6th grade, 7th grade, I started playing guitar. Yeah, so started taking guitar lessons at a little guitar store called Mike's Music, and I sat in the front window here as people drove by, and I learned how to play guitar. And,
Like a rock and roll aquarium?
Yeah, it's exactly what it was like. People would drive by and hum.
How much for the boy in the window? As the exact opposite of Jack Johnson. To me, it's all, I would call it folk music. Most of what we do is based on storytelling. So we structure the atmosphere around the stories and the lyrics, and it's just sort of an amplified form of folk music on steroids. Playing the coffee shop show, and Jim and I did a lot of those together. Jorge would sit in with me and accompany me and do his own stuff. And some guy set up and pretty big area, but he sat up like right there, and he starts doing this business meeting, and I swore then I would never be able to be talked over again. So I kind of called the guys up and said, let's get a band together, and here we are. I guess the atmosphere of the music would come from my living in the country when I was a kid, and listening to story songs, folk music, all the sad songs of the 70s where horses are running into barns and it's catching fire. The night the lights went out in Georgia, that was another big one. So anyways, just these classic kind of Irish folk tales. But I also grew up on Kiss, like a lot of these guys, and so you had to have that kind of spooky rock part of it also.
Most of Brad's characters
A lot of killing. Not many people make it out of the song of life.
It's not happy music.
But it's funny at times.
It is funny.
If I sent you my blind and light, you ain't never see your baby, and you ain't never see your wife. That party started. Put me on that too.
This area in general is, they say you can't, I don't know who came up with swing a dead cat. That's kind of weird. But everybody's in a band. Whether everybody's in like 2 or 3 bands. So it's a really rich environment to meet, different people, different genres, different clubs. But at the same time, everybody's in a band. So.
Small
Yeah, very small community, a lot of fish in the pond. It's definitely different. 'Cause that's kind of when I got started, like I said, mid '90s, and there was more of a. It's before the grunge era, I guess you could call it, got really big, and it was more insulated, and everybody went to everybody's shows, and it was a lot less cutthroat. And then when money started coming in, that kind of changed. It was all for yourself, you know. But I think it's starting to swing back the other way now, and I'm seeing a lot more bands swapping shows and you know, becoming more of a community. So it's kind of going full circle. I'm really good at writing murder ballads, and so someone's either getting killed or breaking up with me, you know, or something like that.
Or a combination of the two.
Yeah, a combination of the two.
The joke is how long Brad takes to play the music to a girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, my mom said I could probably make the happy birthday song sound sad, but I'm not that kind of a guy, really. It's just something I'm good at.
What's unique about Brad and this band is there's hardly ever a lyric that's repeated. It's a story, and the more people listen to the story, I think the more they'll like the band. It's very interesting, and I'd say you can take almost any song and make a movie around it. It's that good.
We start off with my rough sketch. I'll send them an MP3 of just me and the guitar, and then when they come in, it's usually pretty fully formed. I do very basic stuff, and Jorge's sort of the color man. You know, you won't hear the same thing from him either on any song. And then you know, Jim and Dean are just great at locking in, and there's your rhythm section. So
I just feel it.
Yeah.
I feel the rhythm guitar, I feel Jim, and I kind of ignore Zorro because he's doing something over there that I don't even understand.
He's layering.
I don't want to look at it.
we don't want to mess it
I
up.
turn the screen on if I look over at him.
It just works. It just
his own
works.
show.
Yeah.
I do the mustard, and these guys do everything else. I just kind of
Color commentary.
add a little bit.
So you're king of the jungle, of the stylist of land. I'ma change all that with a steel spike in my hand. Don't recognize me at the edge that I need. Just a ghost in the corner. Till I watch you bleed.
Yeah, family reunion is
Builds
pretty
up.
self-explanatory. It's a story of a kid that his father beat him and his mother, and but then he ended up going to jail, and so the only way for the son to get to the father and take care of him is to go get himself put in jail on purpose. So
Years later.
So he kind of kills two stones with one bird. He takes care of somebody that his wife was cheating with, and that gets him thrown in jail, and then he goes after his father in the chow line. And the end of the song is meant to be the build-up of him approaching
The shiv.
and getting his father. So it's a happy
Family reunion.
That's how we send people home.
It's a little ditty. Thank you. Good night.
It's very
I was watching Sense and Sensibility and other Jane Austen things, and it seemed like
There's some nasty shiv scenes in Jane Austen,
yeah,
I
it's
tell you.
hardcore.